for me personally, I like to focus 100% on the content, especially as it relates to coming back to the money over here on the Millionaire Morning Show. Now, when we react to Boyce Watkins or Dr. Umar Johnson, who I largely think that they are kind of one and the same person, but when we react to them, we're reacting to the content that they put out. I leave all of that other stuff to other people, right? I don't get in. Well, it kind of bleeds over, but I try to stay out of the mix when it comes to personal stuff. You know what I'm saying? If it don't come back down to the money, or if it's not specifically content that we're reacting to that has been put out by other people on the internet, so Umar Johnson will drop a video and he'll give his thoughts on how black men are simps and how they need to be held accountable for what black women are doing. And so I'll react to that and I'll say, well, Umar Johnson is wrong. Or Umar Johnson will come in and he'll show a school and he'll say, see, look, it's all built. And then I'll say, well, you've been saying that for the last 10 years. I'm trying to figure out when it's open. Okay? But I've been seeing this content on the internet just all over the place. And it's piqued my curiosity, even though I don't necessarily care for Boyce himself. I still try to keep it just purely based off of the shit that he's saying online. The reason why we're bringing Boyce to the front of the congregation right now is we're basically reacting to some stuff that he's now saying online. Now, here's the caveat to this, right? Boyce Watkins, I remember him saying specifically that he does not pay attention to the things that people say about him online. Let me say that again. Boyce Watkins said that he does not care, he does not pay attention to, and he has no regard for the things that people say about him online. But it seems as though Boyce Watkins has been getting incredibly invested in the things that people are saying about him online. So the question that I'm asking you guys, and I'm going to be reading that super chat shortly. And it said, good morning, Anton. My previous amounts was refunded. Okay, cool. Dope. I'm glad that your amounts was refunded. Thank you, P. Shank. Here's my question to y'all as we go through this, because I have not seen this video yet, but I am familiar with what Oshay Duke Jackson is saying. I am familiar somewhat with what Pocket Watching with JT is saying. I haven't had time to really watch the video. But let me give you a little bit of insight into what's happening before we get into this video, okay? Jay Morrison and his Tulsa real estate fund, the TREF fund, allegedly, based off of loose information that I'm familiar with, was endorsed by Boyce Watkins in its inception, right? So Boyce Watkins, the doctor, the person that is the financial expert, right? When it came about, Boyce Watkins was the one that said, listen, this is a good thing. I met with Jay Morrison. The Tulsa Real Estate Fund is going to be awesome for black people. We're going to be building this thing up, and I am the first person to open up my checkbook, and I am basically endorsing this thing, okay? That is the basis behind this. So I know that Oshay Duke Jackson don't really care for Boyce Watkins at all. Oshay Duke Jackson then brought Pocket Watching with JT onto his platform, and Pocket Watching with JT always evaluates whether or not people are on the up and up as far as their business practices, to make it light, right? And Pocket Watching with JT basically said this. He said, listen, Boyce Watkins is supposed to be one of the most educated people and at the forefront of what it is that we're doing in our community. And he couldn't spot that this shit was a bunch of bullshit, to make it short. And he said, listen, Boyce Watkins endorsed this, but he never brought himself back to the front of the congregation and said that it was a bad idea. He said Boyce Watkins endorsed it. Now, I don't know if the TREF real estate fund, I don't know anything about it because I've never invested in it. It's not something that I would invest in. I don't have people's monies. I don't tell people that they need to invest their money or whatever. I give you my life experience. Right? I've never sold a course. It just is what it is. So I'm not familiar with the TREF Real Estate Fund. I am familiar with Jay Morrison. I am familiar with Boyce Watkins. And I am familiar with the idea that Oshay Duke Jackson don't really care for Boyce Watkins. And now pocket watching with JT is basically saying, which is basically being told to me, Boyce Watkins endorsed this shit, but he never brought himself back to the front of the congregation and said, I was wrong. I should have never told people to put their money in this shit in the first place. All right. So now Boyce Watkins allegedly is responding to pocket watching with JT and Oshay Duke Jackson. That is the baseline of it. That is the cliff notes. And so now I am going to be reading Super Chat shortly. Make sure that you hit a like for the YouTube algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. This is what we're observing now. Boyce Watkins now responding to pocket watching with JT and Oshay Duke Jackson.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I hope you guys are doing well. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins, and I'm actually walking toward downtown Reykjavik, Iceland right now. And Iceland is a beautiful country. It's full of white people, but yeah, if you can get past that part, which they don't mess with you, you know, they treat you fine. And there is some interesting weather here. It was a big contrast to go from 95-degree heat in New York to
let's get past this.
Be a couple of years ago, right? And I've seen this a lot because I've been doing a lot of stuff on content-wise for about 15, 16 years, something like that. And one guy's name is JT the Pocket Watcher. That's what he calls himself, a pocket watcher, which I don't know why anybody would call themselves a pocket watcher. I think you should watch your own pockets, you know, but whatever, it is what it is. And there's another guy who's named Oshay Dukes Jackson. And I think Oshay Dukes Jackson is kind of like a comedian or something, I guess, because he does a lot of comedy content. Like he'll take a thumbnail and put tears on somebody's eyes, or he'll say, so-and-so destroyed, blah, 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 or this person destroyed that person. That person destroyed so-and-so's career. And I applaud these brothers because, you know, it's hard to build a YouTube.
Did he just spit? All right, hold on. So first and foremost, let me tell you the thing that I noticed about Boyce Watkins, objectively, and I'm reacting to this objectively, right? Boyce Watkins is just disingenuous in his heart, in my opinion, based off of what I see. Because I know that Boyce Watkins have been talking shit about Oshay Duke Jackson in comments. I know that he's familiar with Oshay Duke Jackson's content. I know that he's basically describing what Oshay Duke Jackson is. And so when he comes into this conversation, he says, hey, I think that Oshay Duke Jackson, he must be like some type of comedian. He's basically leading you to believe that he's not familiar with what the fuck that they doing. He's not familiar with what the type of content that they put out. And it's all bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So this has nothing to do with what Oshay said or pocket watching with JT did a live stream about him or whatever like that. But I just don't like the fact that motherfuckers always act like that they want you to do well. And they say, listen, and God bless them. Like, I want these brothers to do well. I want them to be great. And they must be like, this person must be like a comedian. And JT, the pocket watcher, even though you should probably watch your own pockets, then it's such bullshit. It's so disingenuous because you know what his name is. You know who Oshay Duke Jackson is. You've been watching his content for years. You've been going back and forth with Oshay, and you said that you don't fuck with him for years. Now you acting like you just discovered him, and you acting like you don't know who the fuck he is. You a PhD. You supposed to be one of the smartest scholars in the fucking room, but now you acting disingenuous, and you acting like you don't know who he is. All right? You know who his name is. His name is not JT the Pocket Watcher. His name is Pocket Watching with JT. You know who he is. You probably watched the whole live stream about what the fuck they said about you. You over here lying, acting like you don't never watch shit that nobody say about you. Like, just be for real. Like, call that shit for what it is. Stop throwing compliments and then trying to criticize it on the other hand. Just be for real, right? Just be real. Like, this is just this is the energy, right? This ain't got nothing to do with the content. This ain't got nothing to do with whether or not they accuse them of such and such and so on. This is just on some shit like, you know how when you meet somebody, you can tell whether or not they got that good energy or whether or not they a hater or whether or not they talking shit or whether or not they genuine in what it is that they criticizing you about. Because there's a difference between being a hater and giving constructive criticism. You can tell the difference between being a hater and giving constructive criticism. This that badass energy, man. It's just that energy. You can tell it's just such a fucking disingenuous energy that is given off. And I don't like that shit. Like, just be 100% real. Just be real with how you really feel, or just skip over that shit. Don't pity pat it or give some compliments when you really ain't feeling people and all of that. Just keep it 100. He did do that shit with Kevin Samuels. Just be real with how you feel. Listen, I don't really fuck with him because it's not my type of content, but I can acknowledge the fact that they phenomenal content creators and their ability to be able to build a YouTube channel. Stop saying that you want them to be successful. Stop saying that you really rock with them. Stop saying their name wrong like you trying to figure out who they are. You know who the fuck that they are. You know who they are. You've been watching their content. You're familiar with them. You've been going back and forth with them for years. Stop acting like you don't know, bro. I don't like that shit because that shit just says, all right, I know who the fuck I'm dealing with right away. But let's get into it, y'all.
YouTube channel, and I get it. You know, attention is a commodity. There are some people who, unfortunately, think that getting attention by any means necessary is the best way to go. But one of the things I want to do, and as you come in, please hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when we go live. One thing I wanted to kind of talk, and let me know if you can hear me, by the way. Give me a yes if you can hear me. I'm hearing some background noise. I want to make sure I'm coming through all right. And one of the things I wanted to kind of talk about is something that I think all young black men should consider. You know, I'm not a young black man. I guess I'm more OG status. I'm 52 years old. I'm not a kid. I stay in shape. I still run and lift weights and all that. But, you know, you get older, you get wiser, you get a little fatter. But hopefully I'm able to fight that off. But one of the things I wanted to do was acknowledge these brothers and acknowledge what they're doing, you know, by saying congratulations on building a good YouTube following. I think
you had all kind of fucking smoke for Oshay Duke Jackson before they started doing videos about you on a regular basis. Now you want to acknowledge them and congratulate them for building a good YouTube following. It's that energy, y'all. Y'all got to pay attention to the energy in the room, man.
I think that's great. But one of the other things I would say to these guys is, and I see Eric Thomas says, JT's a good dude. Please don't trip about him. Y'all could be good allies, actually. Oshay is a POS. What's a POS? I don't know what a POS is.
You don't know what a POS is. You don't know what a piece of shit is. Come on, man. Yo, that type of junk just made me want to cut the video off altogether, bro. Maybe he don't know what a POS is, but that type of stuff honestly just makes me want to just cut the video off because I just don't. I can't, man. I can't stand that fake shit, bro. Like, regardless of whether you do good business or not or whatever, that fake shit is so weak to me, man. Just keep it 100.
You tell me what a POS is. But the thing about JT is that I actually watch some of JT's content.
So you watch him.
And I can appreciate to a point some of what JT does. Now, Oshay Duke.
So you watch him. You familiar with him, but now let somebody talk long enough, they ain't gonna start telling you exactly what the fuck is going on.
I've seen it. It's another celebrity gossip kind of thing. There's a whole lot of content like that. You know, a whole lot of people.
And so you familiar with Oshay Duke Jackson too. So framing the conversation in the beginning just went out the window now that you said that you're familiar.
You know, let's go talk bad about people and make things up and whatever, and that'll get views and clicks and clickbait. And it kind of caters to a lower vibrational frequency that a lot of our people are on. But with JT, one of the things I want to mention here is that some of what I think they're doing, and the reason I'm taking the time to talk about this, you know, and I know, and I appreciate Marty. Thank you for your comment. He says you're at the top of your game, so you're a target for the haters. Do your thing. B1 got your back. Well, I appreciate it, Marty. Thank you so much. And it's partly because I'm comfortable with that I'm even talking about this. You know, I'm comfortable enough, you know, I've done 22,000 videos, literally. I counted them up one time, and I've gotten almost 1 billion views on different channels. So I've done my part, right? I've done my part. I like seeing the younger guys jumping in and doing their thing. You know, I cheered on the guys from Earn Your Leisure. I love what those guys are doing. The Wall Street Trapper, every time I talk to Trap, he always shows respect. He says, you know, you were one of the first ones to do this, and I appreciate you. And that's an honor for me because I like Trap and I respect him immensely. But so most of the young guys are really doing something that I think can be beneficial for the community. But one of the things I want black men to be careful about is allowing your competition or desire for a platform to cause you to do things that can be harmful and destructive to the community. Do you get what I'm saying? Give me a yes if you're following what I'm saying here. And give me a yes if you can understand what I'm trying to say this with love and kindness.
I want to hear the full context of what he's saying before I start to stop it and start to react to some of the stuff that he's saying. I just want to take it all in, and I want him to be able to express himself before I start to stop it. Because I'm not watching this whole video. I'm not watching this whole video. I just want to take in everything that he's saying before I start to react.
Here's the thing. One of the things that you got to be careful about doing, and JT does this, is they like to use the word scammer and everything else, and they kind of point out a lot of black-owned businesses as scams. And I understand that to a point, but one of the challenges that I've had consistently is I said I'd like to do a ratio of your channel and see how many of your videos have been about black-owned businesses versus how many videos of yours have been about white-owned businesses.
So wait. That's cap. That's cap. Pocket watching with JT brings. I'm gonna be for real, and it's not just because we cool. It's not and I'm gonna be absolutely transparent. Pocket watching with JT is a good friend. He's a good friend. He's a really good associate. Anybody that's a part of the Patreon, you are more than welcome to go and look at one of the live streams that he did in which he jumped into the Patreon, and he did it exclusively for you guys, where he went in and he answered every last one of your questions about starting a business, how to set things up financially, taxes, all of that, right? He gave game and insight into the Patreon. The live stream is still up. The video, the replay of the live stream is still in the Patreon for everybody that want to go watch it, right? So I'm going to be absolutely transparent. But the one thing that I know about Pocket Watching with JT is that JT does not just automatically call somebody a scammer. He does not. He does not. JT goes and does his research in order to better understand whether or not somebody is not being forthcoming with who it is or what it is that they're presenting to you for sale. What it is that they're presenting to you for sale. That's just for real. Real talk. If you are selling a course, Pocket Watching with JT is not against selling courses. However, he is going to call out whether or not you are getting the value for your money as a consumer. If you go and create an investment fund and everybody goes in and they put their money into it, he's going to, if it comes to his attention and he finds some discrepancies, he's going to come through and say, listen, a whole lot of people put their money into this and this person has disappeared with their money. Where did he go? It looks like a scam to me. So it's disingenuous to just automatically label Pocket Watching with JT with like that. Because I know that he's not like that. And I know that it's a lot of my bag chasers that literally sought him out for advice after he did the live stream inside of the Patreon and say, hey, listen, I got tax problems or I got things that I want to work on or I need to set up a trust. And he's helped a lot of people. He's literally helped a lot of people. So I can't speak for everybody that Pocket Watching with JT goes through and has a conversation about because I'm not familiar with everybody, but to just automatically label them like that is bullshit. It's 100% bullshit.
Why are you afraid?
And let me also say this. You can't discredit somebody by saying, well, why you not over there watching them too? You can't discredit somebody and say, well, listen, but you're not over there talking about them. You got to substantiate your own argument. You have to substantiate your own argument. You can't say, hey, well, why you not over there doing something about them? You just got to say, hey, listen, I'm not what that is. Let me provide for you the receipts of what it is that I'm doing. I never took nobody else's money or whatever, so on and so forth. And you stand on what the fuck you standing on. Let me tell you why people have a problem with Boyce Watkins. It's because Boyce Watkins is very much just like every single other OG or dude that calls himself an OG that made a lot of mistakes in their life. They will never come back to the front of the congregation and say, hey, listen, I led y'all down this wrong path. I'm taking accountability for it. I should have never told you to endorse that fund over there that y'all all got finessed on. That's all he had to do. You can completely avoid all of this shit, honestly. If you just be absolutely transparent, you can avoid all of this bullshit by saying, hey, listen, I thought that it was a good fund to invest in. I put my money into it. I know a lot of y'all listen to me. I'm very sorry. I shouldn't have did that. I lost money just like you lost money, and it's not something that I should have endorsed. If you just hold yourself accountable and be transparent about whether or not you were right or wrong, people can rock with that shit. But the fact that you never even acknowledge it after you told people to put their money into it, that's the part that people have a problem with. And then you want to continue to give people the financial advice. You want to continue to talk shit about people behind their back. You want to continue to start commenting on shit and saying shit about people. He did that shit with me. Wouldn't face me in person. Cool. I get it. You don't want to face me in person. I issued a $100,000 challenge to him. He said, nah, what his actions? He said, no, I ain't fucking with it, right? But then on the flip side, he up there commenting on all of the shit that I'm in or every video that somebody do about me, but you don't want to speak to me in person. It's the disingenuous sentiment of who you are that people they don't like that shit. Pocket watching with JT, from all I know, he never called Boyce Watkins a scam, but he did say he endorsed something that was bad for the community. Bring yourself back to the front of the congregation. That's all he's saying.
To really talk consistently about, melanin deficient people, if you know what I mean. Like, why is that kind of a scary point? Now, I think that, every now and then somebody might talk about Grant Cardone. I've talked about Grant Cardone. He asked to come on my platform. I told him no. Actually, I didn't tell him no. I told him, if I can come on your platform first, you can come on mine. I never heard from him again. So, so that was the end of the conversation with Grant Cardone, because I understand when somebody's trying to exploit me. I can see that, usually pretty well, because I've dealt with exploiters like the Yvette Carnells. And Yvette Carnell, by the way, I think she's kind of in alliance with the Oshay Dukes and guys like that, because it's kind of like, okay, let's all get together and go attack somebody. But the problem,
nobody is all getting together to go and attack you, bro. You're not that important. You're not that relevant. Your platform is kind of dusty. You're not really doing no numbers like that and shit. So ain't nobody tripping off of you like that, bro.
That they're going to run into is that Yvette Carnell is a snake. She's an absolute snake. And if I was talking to these brothers, I don't
know who Yvette Carnell is.
I wish I could show you how much.
I don't know who Yvette Carnell is, so I don't have an opinion about that whatsoever. But I don't think that everybody is coming together in order to come and attack you. Come on, man.
I put in her, how much I supported her when she had no support, and the way she behaved. And Tony used to use my YouTube channel too. Like, I help these people. These are not haters from across the street. These are, or across the city. These are haters that literally lived in my house when they had nowhere to live. Like, I took care of them. I hooked them up when nobody else would.
I don't know who you're talking about.
So I would warn them, the same thing that she's done to other people is probably what she's going to do to you. So that would be kind of my public warning on that, because I'm telling you, why do you think the ADOS movement died? The ADOS movement died because Yvette's leadership, she's very petty, she's very nasty, she's kind of ridiculous.
Reading super chat shortly.
And my hope is that as black men, generally speaking, I know some people aren't going to hear it, and I get it, but as black men generally, I think we have to go from a scarcity.
Razik, I've never heard of Yvette Carnell or Antonio Moore. It's nothing that, I'm telling you, most of the stuff that I watch on YouTube is animal videos. Like, it's other stuff. I don't be watching. The only time I'm aware of this shit is when y'all send it to me. The only time that I'm aware of this shit is when y'all send it to me. I do not be researching these people. I do not give a fuck about Boyce Watkins. I do not give a fuck about Dr. Umar Johnson. I don't give a fuck about these people, right? Honestly. When they drop some content and y'all send it to me and it's entertaining, then I'll react to it. But I don't give a fuck about these people, honestly, bro.
Mindset to an abundance mindset. A scarcity mindset is when you say, the only way I can be successful is if I take down that nigga over there. If I take down that Negro over there, I could be the king Negro,
Stop it,
right?
bro.
An abundance mindset says we can collaborate, work together, and help each other succeed. And even if we don't agree, even if we get on the channel together and argue a little bit and debate respectfully, we can help the people who should be our first concern to get benefits from our interaction, right? So, for example, imagine if JT and I got together and we're talking respectfully
That would be funny.
about our views on the Tulsa Real Estate Fund. I did put money in the Tulsa Fund. I never became a paid endorser, so the implication that I was is absolutely false. So, right there, that's a problem. You can't assume that I am or make something up that simply is not true. I supported Jay because I know JT said something about he's a three-time felon and all that. A lot of black people are felons. A lot of black people got criminal records. I'm not saying that that makes them good people, but I'm saying that that doesn't always necessarily make them bad people.
Yeah,
And
but he's
so
not acknowledging the fact. See, it's not the fact that you put money into it. It's the fact that you advocated for other people to put money into it. That's the problem. That's the problem. It's not that you put money into it. It's the fact that other people put money into it as a result of you saying that this is what it is that I'm doing. Honestly, it don't have nothing to do with whether or not he put money into it. That ain't nobody tripping. You can do whatever you want with your own money. The fact is that you advocated for other people to put money into it, and that's the issue. That's why people are stripping.
to say that a person should be written off because he's a three-time felon, that clearly means that he committed a fraud. And there's been no prosecution to that effect. The SEC did a full investigation. They seem to find nothing. Well, why can't that be acknowledged? Why must it just become like, no, 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 we still know he's a fraud. We still know he's a fraud. No, maybe he just ran a business that you don't agree with. Or maybe JT, this is what I would say to JT is, if you are just he'll use language that's real, that I can see through everything. I'm an analytical person.
So you didn't know who pocket watching with JT is. Now you know who pocket watching with JT is. And now you in a whole Come on, fam. Come on, fam. Come on, bro.
Person. It's like I'm just a little country. I'm nobody. I'm just a little country accountant from Pocahontas, Mississippi. That's what dude. He kind of plays that game with you, like right, like I'm just a humble country accountant. But then he'll go in for the jab, right? And I think they used to do that on I forgot what that show was. But there was a show where a guy would do that. He would say, "Well, I'm just a humble police detective who doesn't know much, but I'd like to ask you, where'd you put the murder weapon?" Right? And it's kind of like, but here's the thing. I don't think he's just a humble, country boy from Mississippi, whatever he says he is. I think he's a certified financial analyst who could actually help these businesses if he sat there and talked to them. Seriously, if he talked to him, and I agree, sometimes there is a lot of blabbering, right? So the blabbering needs to stop. Um, why not help these businesses, right? Like again, this is something that
Why would pocket watching with JT? This is the problem that I have with these people and these former gatekeepers of what it is that who we used to herald and who we used to think was awesome. Is that they think that just because you black, that you're supposed to put your reputation and you're supposed to put your credibility on the line and become a part of what these people is doing. Why would Pocket listen? If Pocket watching when JT said, "This is my brand. I am a CPA. I am I am a certified public accountant and all of this other type of stuff, right? And I'm a licensed professional." If JT don't actually align with what it is that you stand for, why would JT then have a conversation about what it is that he can do to help you? Respectfully, why would that make sense?
I care near and dear about because I wrote a book about that, The 10 Commandments of Black Economic Power. And one of the things I talk
Jesus
extensively about is the
Christ.
research that says that black businesses don't survive because you attack them rather than help them. Do you get what I'm saying? If you want to see a black business do better, why not help the black business do better? Why not reach out and say, hey, bro?
Why you didn't help the black business do better? Listen, you put your money in there and you got fucking finessed. You put your money in the real estate fund and you got finesse, and now you want to sit here. Stop, bro.
Look, I see what you're doing. I don't like your layout. Let me help you. Let me support you. Like, I'm reaching out right now, like, to these guys. I'd say, look, if you want to talk to me, you can call me. Like, I'm not some elite guy who's on top of a roof. Maybe that's what you think.
I don't
Maybe
think you're
my
elite
name
at all.
precedes me or something, and
I don't think you're elite at all. I don't think you're elite at all. I think that by the time that you're, honestly, if I have to give my evaluation of what Boyce Watkins will be remembered as when it's all said and done, I think he will be remembered as a sucker. I don't think you're elite at all. I don't think you're the man at all. I don't think that people are going to regard you. I think that the more that you stay on the internet and the more that you continue to have conversations about what you think success is. I see people that say that shit to me all the time. Hey, man, it would be dope if you and Boyce Watkins linked up. Man, I don't want to fucking link up with Boyce Watkins. I don't want to link up with Boyce. Why would I want to link up with Boyce Watkins? Why would I want to link up with these people? Man, you and Umar could build something great together. Why the fuck would I ever want to link up with Dr. Umar Johnson? Like, and respectfully, it doesn't mean that Dr. Umar is not good at what he does, but why would I? It's 9 billion people on this earth. Why I gotta fucking link up with them? That don't even make sense. We're not even in the same lane. I don't want to talk to these niggas. I think that these OGs is fucking. Oh, so Boyce, you say you a good analyzer and you good evaluation of character and you able to assess things before it happens. Then how come you can't assess the fact that black men should not be marrying single mothers just because they single mothers? Now, if you decide that you want to get in a relationship with a single mother, that's one thing. But why you sitting here advocating for dudes to do it just because you did it?
I'm proud of that. I mean, I put in the work. But seriously, I want to see the brothers win. But the thing is that I can't support you winning if your winning must come at the expense of small black businesses that are already struggling anyway.
Who needs Boyce?
Y'all need to understand what's going on with these black businesses. They're underfunded. They get discriminated against. And then on top of being discriminated against.
Stop, bro. Stop. If, according to what people are telling me, that the Tulsa Real Estate Fund had over $10 million in funding, and you an expert and you don't know how to really flip that or at the very least give people their money back, come on, man. Fuck that. Fuck that. I'm not giving you my money.
And underfunded.
Why? Hold on, wait. Here's my question. Here's the question that I have for everybody in the chat that's watching this right now. If these people are so good at making money, what do you need my money for? I have never, ever asked for a Cash App. I've never asked for y'all to hit the super chat. And in respect, listen, if other people are doing it, I don't really give a fuck. That ain't got nothing to do with me. I have never asked y'all to invest in a business. I've never asked y'all for a dime. I've never sold you a fucking course. I've never asked you to contribute to anything. What the fuck you need my money for if you got money to continue to do it? Why are we crowdsourcing everything? Honestly. Honest to God, if these people is ballers, if these people is millionaires, if these people got the bag, what the fuck we keep asking other people for money for? If you a guru, right? Why are we then asking people to put together money in order for us to continue to run the business? Why do we keep... This is what I don't like about the fucking black community. Honest to God. Why do we keep selling this shit as, hey, listen, guys, this is the investment opportunity for a lifetime. Invest in this thing with me. Why are we not the ones that's funding the businesses? Listen, when I go into Patreon, I say, listen, I'm going to be funding y'all businesses, not the other way around. If you go back and you look at some of my shit inside of my paper, I did a pitch contest where I then wired money to other people, not the other fucking way around. We supposed to be the contributors into society, not the other way around. The live stream that we got coming up on Sunday that I just posted inside of the Patreon, I said, listen, I'm going to show y'all what I did so that you can avoid some of the pitfalls. I spent over $100,000 so far. I'm going to show you the receipts. I'm going to show you what it is that I'm going through, what it is that I'm dealing with, so that you can then leapfrog off of what it is that I'm doing in order to become more successful. What the fuck are we doing asking other people for shit if we supposed to be the ones that's doing the great shit? What I need your money for if I already getting money? Let me teach you how to use your money more effectively. People say that shit all to me. No, Anton, I want to give you some money. No, I don't want your money. I'll teach you how to do it yourself. I'll teach you how to get funding yourself. I'll teach you how to move a little bit differently yourself. But I'm not going to fucking ask you for money so I can do the business. I'm supposed to already be there, right? That's the whole reason why I'm in a position to be able to have a conversation about the money, right? What the fuck I need you for? I don't understand that. Why do we keep doing that? If you dudes is getting so much money, how come y'all not giving a seat? And I've been saying this. In October, is it October or November? In October or November, I'm literally doing a live stream inside of the Patreon where I'm funding other people's businesses. So we putting together a fund to where we can give other people money in order to get their seed money to vet out their businesses effectively, to determine whether or not the business is even viable or not, to go through the process using the steps that I've shared inside of the Patreon, right? So now you get the seed money. I don't take no ownership in it. You just get the grant. It's a grant. Hey, listen, you've been doing the work. You might need a little bit of help. You might need a leg up. Let me give you some seed money based off of your pitch in order for you to get your shit off the ground. If we getting so much fucking money, if everybody is balling, right? I see you motherfuckers keep riding around, you traveling to this and that place and all of this other type of shit. If everybody is fucking balling, then how come ain't nobody helping nobody else? I don't want your motherfucking information alone. I want to see what the fuck you doing for other people. Go and fund somebody's other business. What are we talking about, man?
They get attacked by their own people. So think about this. How in the hell are you going to have a successful business when
Read
white
super
people
chat
hate
shortly,
you,
man.
some black people hate you, not all of them. Some of y'all love black businesses, and I appreciate that. I love y'all for that. Black people hate you, white people hate you, a lot of black people hate you. The banks won't fund you. The government investigates you. When the government investigates you, and pay attention, Mind Games Uncut, I want you to listen. He says, Boyce is nervous. You stop being nervous, brother. I need you to listen to me. Focus. Seriously, dude. Listen to me. Stop coming for the purpose of trolling and come for the purpose of learning and growing. Okay? So here's what I'm saying to you. Black businesses struggle because we have black people who will prefer to call a black business owner a criminal, which white people already think the black man is a criminal. Why? And if you don't think it could ever happen to you, JT, brother, I'm telling you, man, at some point, someone's going to say, he scammed me. You're going to have a business dispute with somebody. And if you haven't had this already, I mean, remember, people can look these things up.
All right, I'm done. That's why I don't watch those type of videos, honestly. Honestly, I did something outside of character today and I watched that video and that's just not my thing, bro. It's not my thing, man. It's not the thing that I rock with. It just doesn't make sense to me. I can only watch so much before I just be like, okay, cool. And now, again, I don't call Boyce Watkins a scammer. I don't think that Boyce Watkins is a scammer. I think that Boyce Watkins is I don't think that Boyce Watkins, and who knows, I don't know him. I haven't done any research on different stuff that people are accusing me of. I do think that the word scammer is used very loosely in the community. I don't think that it's being used by Pocket Watching with JT or anything like that. I don't think that Boyce Watkins is a scammer. I think that Boyce Watkins is not as financially. I don't think that Boyce Watkins is financially equipped to have the conversations that he think he's having, that he think he can participate in. I don't think he's a scammer though. And that's just my personal opinion. But done with that shit. I don't want to. Anyways,